Hi and welcome to the Beer Temple. I am Chris Quinn and I am joined by my lovely wife,
Margaret Quinn. Hi everyone.
Very special treat whenever Margaret can join us.
Yes it is.
So yeah, it should be fun. We've got 4 beers today from a New Mexico brewery called Cumbre, and I'm very excited about this. These beers came into the store yesterday from Kevin and Sue. Let me make sure that's right. Yep, Kevin and Sue. So thank you very much, Kevin and Sue, for dropping these off. A couple of New Mexicans who were coming through Chicago. We're actually doing a really huge beer tour. They had already got 12 cases of beer accumulated by the time.
Wow.
Yeah, they were talking about having to buy one of those like cargo things for the top of their car for their luggage.
That's awesome. That's an epic road trip. It sounds like cool. Yeah.
But anyway, I was very excited. People have come in from New Mexico before, and I'm almost like, ooh, La Cumbre, because I've had this beer twice before and really liked it. I haven't had any of these 3, and it's exciting. The first time I ever had this beer was at our grand opening. I opened up a whole bunch of beers, and people were bringing their own beers as well. And this beer just kind of, they were just getting kind of set up right here. And there was all these beers, and people were setting them down, and other people were saying, can I try this and try that? And I was pouring out the beers, and this guy was just kind of sitting over here and was getting a little lonely. Nobody really,
its own business.
Nobody cared about it. Nobody wanted to try it. And I finally said, well, let's try this stuff. And I tasted some and said, wow, this is one of the best beers out here, guys. And there were a lot of really good beers open at the time. And I never forgot the terror. And no, but I never forgot the beer. Yeah, not by us though.
No.
So anyway, La Cumbre stuck in my mind from that point on. So I'm excited to try some of the other stuff. I mean, of these beers, this is one of gold, this is one of silver, and this is one of bronze at GABF.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so pretty new brewery. I think the guy said he hadn't even started drinking beer until 2002.
Wow.
And has kind of gone full bore and just wanted to learn everything about beer, and then home brewing, and then brewing at another brewery in New Mexico, and then finally opening up his own brewery somewhat recently. Nice. So, you want to get going?
Yeah, sure. Let's get started.
Can I have a glass?
Yeah.
Cool. So, obviously they can and bottle. This is a slice of Heffen.
I like the name. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And for those who know, when I usually attend one of the shows or I'm on one of the shows, I usually do quite a bit of research and you know, have a lot to say about the brewery or the history and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I am flying blind today, so I have not done my research. You, my friend, are going to have to be the one with the encyclopedic knowledge of this.
Well, hefeweizen, German style of wheat ale, known for its characteristic yeast, the esters that it gives off. That's half. It's me just being a little facetious, but yeah, it's
yeah, it was
a really nice warm weather beer. Yeah,
funny joke.
Wasn't supposed to be funny.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so very nice warm weather beer. It is summertime right now in Chicago here, so definitely the kind of beer I think we'd want to have open today.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, somebody I got a little bit of hate from an online discussion board for the show. One, because someone couldn't handle the sweaters I wore, which was amazing. That was the best feedback I've ever gotten.
That's great.
And the quote-unquote cute banter between us. I loved it. It was awesome.
We're not cute.
Cheers
so.
to him. You're lovely. So anyway.
Anyway, a little hazy in the glass, which is what I would expect from a hef.
A lot of banana.
Yeah, a lot of nice fruit in here.
A little lemony.
I'm even going to say, like, I get like almost like a melon, like a cantaloupe type thing. I mean, I think it's very fruity.
Yeah. I can get that, but banana and banana cream is probably the main thing for me. Maybe a little bit of banana and vanilla, a hint of that spice as well.
Yeah, some clove.
But, yeah, a little bit of clove, but it's mainly banana forward, this guy.
It's a good taste.
It's nice. It's a little lighter, a little thinner body than I would expect.
I thought the same thing, yeah. And I'm not, well, I'm getting the banana. I guess that still is the key player in here, but it's not like the same banana flavor that I would expect based on the smell of this beer. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it has that kind of creamy banana banana custard smell to it, so you're almost expecting it to have kind of like a thicker, softer mouthfeel to it. Not that it's bad, it's just a thin mouthfeel. Makes it very drinkable in a way. It also has a little bit of acidity to it, like a little lemony note to it.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, definitely some tanginess, I think, in the taste as well.
Which comes from the wheat. Well, they call it a crack of acidity oftentimes, and like not crack rock, not Roxy, but yeah.
Going home.
Yeah. But anyway, solid beer here. I have not been rating lately, but if you want to get back to that, okay. But yeah, good beer, solid hef. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Good hefeweizen.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're in the area and you can get it fresh, no reason to not pick it up. All right, now we're gonna have some banana IPA because of our glasses.
Oh, this. I was like, wait. Oh, this is a banana IPA. I was like, how did I miss that?
This is the.
Gotcha. The elevated IPA.
The elevated IPA. I'll give ourselves a little bit bigger pour to maybe get. I had a little more in mine. I'll give mine a rinse. You don't get a rinse.
No, it's good for you.
What cute banter we have. Cheers to evil.
Yes.
So we have a nice, beautifully clear beer here. Real orangey, nice amount of foamy head that's sticking around pretty well. I mean, yours is like a miniature perfect pour there.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, this is great looking beer.
Yeah.
Dark gold.
Man, it's fresh too, and I love the nose. This is exactly what happened when I had it the first time. I smelled it, and I already knew I was gonna love the beer.
Yeah.
I smelled it and was like, oh my gosh, this is great. It's really like what they say, dank, pot. A lot of that like marijuana smell to it. Really green and herbaceous.
Yeah, I mean,
and some pine.
I definitely get the pine. I'm not getting a ton of that dankness, although, I mean, yeah, maybe I'm just becoming immune to it somehow.
Because you smoke so much.
Yeah, because I smoke so much.
Medical.
Right. Yeah.
Glaucoma.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so I get a lot of the pine and the grapefruit, big grapefruit punch I get out of this.
Yeah. Doesn't say what kind of hops they're using, but
man, I tasted it as I am wont to do. I move straight ahead to taste.
That's fine. You definitely do get a lot of like yellow grapefruit, gold grapefruit.
Yeah, like
a little bit of that turning into just a hint of maybe the oniony side of green.
And it's interesting that you mentioned that oniony side of green. I mean, I get that in the taste. I didn't get it so much in the nose, but I definitely get that kind of onion grass, garlicky, chive type flavor in the taste.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the finish. It has a little bit of that garlicky finish to it. Also, grapefruit as well.
Now, is this a double IPA?
A little bit of a woody note to it. It's bordering.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can definitely...
7.2, you're right on the cusp.
I mean, the mouthfeel is a little heavier than an IPA, and I mean, the booziness, that's the other thing that strikes me. I mean, you definitely can... You know you're drinking a bigger beer. That's why I was like, is this Imperial?
It's quite bitter. It says 100 IBU on there. It has some sweetness to it, but not enough to counterbalance all that IBU, all those bittering hops there.
Yeah,
it finishes bitter, and it makes you kind of want to reach for food. I would love to have this with a burger, something fatty.
I'd say fish and chips, something like that.
Yeah. Really good IPA. This is pretty much right up my alley. Maybe a hint more bitter than I would personally like, but you really like the bitter, so.
I really like the bitter. The only I guess complaint I have about this beer is that if I ordered this as like an IPA, I would be kind of overwhelmed. I mean, it's not as drinkable as I might want, like just a regular IPA. If I had ordered a double IPA and I get this, I would be like, yeah, great, that's what I'm in the mood for. But you know, it's a little.
You want a little more balance from your IPA? Yeah, it's definitely West Coast style.
Yeah.
It's fairly dry and massively hopped.
Right.
But for that style,
Very
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, more on the lines of like the Pliny's and stuff like that, which is a double IPA, but Pliny I think is maybe like 7.5% or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're right around that same level. Can you hand me the Gropener, my dear?
Yeah. Wow, look at that. It's I didn't realize it was magnetized.
Yeah. So we have a metal door, so it just sticks to it, which is nice. The reason it's magnetized is so when you open it, the cap doesn't go flying. It just kind of sticks to it. The other cool thing is then it does, since it doesn't bend it really reseals it really well.
Yeah, it's nice. Gropener, $13.99.
$11.99.
$11.99.
That's under MSRP. You're not supposed to say that.
Oh.
Now we're in trouble. So this is called the Dank. It is about 2 weeks old. This is their double IPA, and it's called Project Dank actually, and such a really neat, very like southwestern, like Santa Fe look to it or whatever.
The artwork, yeah.
Yeah, and excuse me. 7.5%. It just says a lot of IBUs, and they call it the Dank Project because they brew it a little differently every time. They use different hops. They might not even use the same methods of hopping each time. So it's just kind of a big hoppy beer that it looks like they're probably using similar malt bill to it because they have the ABV there, and the alcohol is going to come from the grain, not the hops. So probably the same yeast as well, which could affect that. Yeah, looks very similar. Maybe a little bit more hazy, but still fairly clear.
Yeah.
That same really nice golden color. The heads there as well.
So
sweeter.
Yeah, definitely a different nose on this beer than the what is it? The just a single IPA.
Elevated.
The elevated IPA.
More orange.
Sweeter. Yeah, definitely.
Like orange flowers.
Sweet, yeah.
Reminds me of like a little bit of Bell's Two Hearted, which is a Centennial hopped beer.
I think there are kind of the underlying notes of that dankness in this one for me, like sort of like a dustiness, dankness, musty, thing going on underneath.
Yeah, I like an earthy, woody quality to me, but really nice orange, some marmalade there, some biscuity notes.
Whoa, man. These beers are way more different than I thought they would be. The elevated versus this dank one, completely different direction.
This finish is sweet.
Yeah.
Almost has a lemony tangerine finish to it. A little bit of biscuit, a hint of toffee, but mainly just like a fruity sweetness at the end of it. The hops are all up front, very low IBU. So I would, in this batch at least anyway, of the Dank Project, say a lot of IBU, maybe a bit of an overstatement. I mean, it might be very bitter, but there's so much malt sweetness there that it counterbalances it quite a bit.
Reminds me of like honey lemon tea, something like that, because you almost get like the tannic notes, you get the lemony notes, you get the honey, like the sweetness of it.
It's a good beer.
Yeah, it is good.
I think I like this one more, but this is really nice. And you do get some bitterness too. It's just, it's coming across. It's kind of very much a slow burn, and even the bitterness has it's like enveloped with some sweetness as well. You also have the sweetness in your mouth at the time. So cool. And the last one is the Malpais Stout. This is a 7.5. They like that 7.5 range. And that's kind of cool. It says elevate this end, upside down. Get it? Elevated. Get elevated.
Well, the theme here is the mountains and all.
Yeah. This is a foreign stout, which is just a hair below an imperial stout. This one what did I say? Silver, I think, at the GABF. Right there.
Well, World Beer Cup silver. GABF.
And GABF silver. Okay. So people like this beer.
Sort of exactly what I would expect as far as what it looks like.
Very dark beer. Just when you're holding up to the light, you can see through it just a hair, but not too much. A lot of coffee, a lot of roast, some sweet fruit, like dark fruit character as well. Yeah, for sure. Almost like the bittersweet chocolate, that kind of thing. Yeah, but it doesn't have that like smell like it's going to have that acrid roast to it. It's chocolatey and coffee, but a more sweeter side to it.
I agree. It's not as aggressive.
Cocoa powder.
Wow, this is great. This is good. I think it's very well balanced. At first, I was going to say it's dry, and then I was like, wait, no, I get some sweetness. So I think it's, to me, it's very well balanced. You know, roasty, sweet. Yeah, like a lot of those coffee flavors sort of towards the back end, and very and bitter too. You
do get a candied chocolate, like a fruit enveloped in chocolate kind of
like
flavor.
A chunky bar type thing?
Yeah, I could go with chunky bar. That's peanutty, isn't it?
Yeah, there are peanuts in there, but there's raisins too. Raisins and chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate raisins. There we go.
Raisinets.
Goobers.
This is a raisinette of beer. No, goobers are definitely peanut. Yeah, this paired with the chunky bar would be right up my alley.
Yeah. What? Is there anything paired with a chunky bar that wouldn't be up your alley?
I haven't had a chunky bar in years, and I want one really bad right now.
Maybe we'll make that happen. Maybe we'll pair it with this right here.
Delicious.
Do they even make chunky bars?
I hope so. Because I want one
you're
right
about to go get one. Guys, these have been 4 really great beers. We'll say 3 really great beers and 1 just nice solid hef there. 1 kind of nice session beer. I love that these days, no matter where you are in the country, there's a chance of finding a world-class brewery. These beers are... they're legit.
Oh, totally.
I mean, you put this in any market in the country, and this stuff is going to be rising to the top.
Yeah, I wish we got them in Chicago. Yeah.
Well done, guys. At
thank
Lumbre.
You, Sue and
Kevin. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I'd only had this one, and it's not a one-hit wonder brewery. I mean, this guy knows what he's doing, and it makes me kind of want to go out and visit these guys. You know.
Albuquerque.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, so much. If you have any questions, I want to start reading out questions and stuff on the air. Shoot me an email at info@craftbeertemple.com. I'll start probably doing that towards the front of the show. Otherwise, just feel free to shoot me an email or leave a review on iTunes. That's always appreciated. Or a comment at craftbeertemple.com. We always like to hear what you guys have to say. Until next time, we've got some great Southwestern beers to drink. I gotta go with. Gotta get my bees.
Stout.
Yeah, and hey, hopefully you do too, and I truly mean it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.